All right, guys, we are back. This is K-Talk Radio, 1640 AM. I'm your host, Yoshi Shiraki. This is the show, Utah Home Sweet Home, and our special guest, Jonas Utsuji, in the house right now, talking real estate, hard money, business, all of that good stuff. Jonas, thanks for being here again.
Thank you, my friend.
Yes, it's always a pleasure to have you. Time for the nightmare story.
Nightmare story? Oh, yeah, I got some good ones.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, baby.
Those are the kind I like.
Yeah. Okay, so I was doing a flip in Spanish Fork.
Okay.
My brother calls me up and he's like, "Hey, I've got this guy. He's been out of work for years. He's a super nice guy, and he says he does some construction stuff." I'm like, "Cool, okay." And my brother has helped me a ton, right? And
Yeah.
I'm like, "Okay, well, I got to do this one for the bro, right?"
Yeah.
So I'm kind of interviewing this guy, and I'm like, "So, what are your strengths, and do you do tile?" Or he's like, "No, my knees are kind of bad." And I'm like, "Well, what else do you do?" And he's like, "Well, I do some paint, and I've done, just kind of some like handyman stuff." I'm like, "Cool." I'm like, "Awesome, right on."
Right.
So I'm like, okay. So I have this guy, and like when I'm interviewing this guy, when people kind of like aren't answering your question, they're kind of like, dodging the question.
Right.
My gut was telling me like, this dude does not know what he's doing. But I was like, I gotta take care of my bro. I mean, my bro, you know what I mean? So anyway, I'm like, okay, so I give this guy a shot. So, long story short, one day I tell him to fill in the holes in the wall, like the nail holes in the wall with this spackle, right?
Right.
So we get to the house, and he's got one of those putty knives.
Yeah.
And he's literally trying to fill in the holes of the texture.
Oh.
with the knife, and we're like, "Whoa, bro!" We're like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "You told me to fill in the holes," and I was like, "Oh no!"
He's trying to make it smooth.
I'm like, "What?"
That'll take a year.
So,
that'll be the longest flip you ever did.
So, long story short, this dude caused so many issues on my property.
Yes.
I literally, I paid him. I'm like, "Here, listen, I know I told you I was going to take care of you. Here, I'm going to write you a check.
Yeah.
We won't be needing your services anymore."
Right. Oh, no.
I paid him to leave.
Oh, no.
That cost me at least 10 grand worth of damage. Like, it was just a complete nightmare. And then on top of that, because all my other contractors were unavailable, when they don't answer your phone, they don't answer your call, you're like, okay, obviously they're not available. So I had a brilliant idea. It was so brilliant. I'm like, there's this thing called Craigslist.
Oh, yes.
So I call this guy, and he shows up to the property. He's got these jeans on, and they're all stained with paint, and I'm like, "Oh, this guy's legit."
Yeah.
So I'm like, so this guy, I'm like, "Do you know how to do texture? All this stuff?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh yeah, absolutely."
Yeah.
So anyway, long story short, that guy was a complete bonehead. I legitimately think that he was just a scammer, because we showed up and we're like, "Do you know how to do wholly smooth texture?" He had caked on like an inch thick of texture, and it was just like, I mean, this guy didn't even go to YouTube to figure out this stuff. He just like, and we're just like, "Okay, bro, but no, this is not going to work out." So we let that guy go. The next day, all the materials that I had bought just magically disappeared.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, that was a nightmare.
No kidding.
Yeah, so don't go on Craigslist. Like, whatever you do not use Craigslist. Like, that's not a good idea.
Right. Oh, that's never fun when materials get stolen.
Yeah. Oh, man. I took it in the shorts on that one. That was a loss.
Yeah. I'm doing a flip right now as we speak in
Yeah.
Taylorsville, and the contractor has an assistant that helps him,
Uh-huh.
and
You mean the guy that he got from Home Depot? That's code for
yeah,
it.
Craigslist. Well, this assistant had a friend, if you can call someone a friend, help take the tools that they were going to be using on the project to the house the night before. And the next morning, the house was broken into. I should say sometime in that night, the house was broken into. And the only thing that was stolen was that toolbox. Like, I had my materials there and everything, thankfully. So they think it was the friend.
No, you think?
That broke in and said, I want this toolbox. And I was like, wow, what are the chances of that?
Yeah.
So they had to go buy all brand new tools.
Because if I was a burglar,
Yeah.
the first thing that I would go for is the toolbox.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and if I was going to go for a big heist, it'd be tools.
Tools. Yeah, exactly. If I'm going to risk
Come on.
jail time, I want tools. I don't want money. I want tools because I can sell it for money.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. That stuff's like gold.
Oh, jeez. Actually, I heard, complete side note, but I heard, not to encourage anyone to commit crimes, but they're not taking people to jail these days because they don't want to contaminate the jail with COVID. So you could do a lot of bad stuff and they'll just give you a ticket. So
What?
yeah. Now I don't know if murder's up there, but recently heard that through somebody who I know who's in law enforcement. They're like, it's they're doing their best to keep the jails uncontaminated.
Okay,
So,
yeah. Never mind that, you beat your wife.
Right.
But we just don't want you to catch COVID.
Yeah, exactly.
Just go back inside and promise you'll never do it again.
Right.
What?
Give you a ticket. So, interesting time to be a criminal.
What is going on, brother?
Yeah. All right,
Wow.
So it is time for another commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to talk the second half of the show about entrepreneurship.
Yep.
Before we take a commercial break, what does that mean? You're going to definitely want to stay tuned because there are a lot of people that we talked about that, we talked about this earlier, that say, I've got a great idea for this, great idea for that. But they never go and pursue that idea, right? And for all of those people right now who are unfortunately unemployed, laid off, or whatever reason, temporarily unemployed due to COVID-19, what a great time to pursue this side hustle.
Oh man, this is a gift.
Yeah.
For you.
Maybe it's forcing you to go do that side hustle. And that side hustle could be your main hustle, and you may not have to go to work ever again for somebody else.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about how to start businesses and all of that good stuff when we come back. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Hi, I'm Yoshi Shiraki, the author of the book, My Body's Just For Me, the book written for children to educate children on the prevention of child abuse. With the assistance of multiple best-selling author Richard Paul Evans, we were able to publish this book as a tool to help break the ice in an easy and innocent way to help children understand and learn how to speak up and communicate. I have been invited numerous times onto Good Things Utah to discuss the importance of good communication with your child in regards to abuse, and also to discuss how the book, My Body's Just For Me, is a great tool for every parent when having that tricky conversation with their children. For more information on the book, My Body's Just For Me, please visit www.protectourangels.com today. And remember, the more we focus on prevention, the less we'll have to focus on rehabilitation.